This is an apropos story to tell you, given the fact that I'm wearing my Have the Day You Voted For t-shirt, available at the link in my bio. He took his wife, a Trump fan, to the president's hotel in Doral. Instead, he was detained by ICE. Brian Jose Rojas Galofre, I hope I said that correctly, wanted to give his wife a lovely honeymoon to see the beach for the first time and perhaps a glimpse of President Donald Trump, whom she supports. Their January 2025 road trip from Wisconsin to Miami, however, turned into a nightmare, according to the couple. Rojas, a Venezuelan immigrant whose wife and young children are U.S. citizens, was detained following a stop at Trump Hotel security checkpoint. He spent more than 3 months in ICE custody in Florida. Rojas also faced accusations of gang affiliation. He says he feared being deported to El Salvador and lost his stable job and work permit. The family says they've lost their house and had to deplete Rojas's 401k and are in debt. In the end, it was a bad decision, Rojas, 34, said in an interview about wanting to take his wife to the Trump National... Sorry, the app is acting funny. Anyway, it was a mistake to take his wife there to try and see a glimpse of the president. What he is doing to migrants isn't fair, Zaragoza said of the president. What happened to my family wasn't fair. I have no sympathy at all. Because it doesn't, your mind doesn't change until it affects you. Your perception of what's going on in this country doesn't change until it affects you. You didn't give a shit what was happening in this country until it happened to your husband. Right? So why the hell should we have sympathy for you? Why should we care that your husband spent 3 months in a detention center? Why should we care if your husband was deported from this country back to where he came from or to some other fucking country? Why should we care? You didn't care when it was happening to everybody else. You voted for the man who made it happen. You liked him so much, even while that shit was happening, that you drove from Wisconsin to Florida in order to get a glimpse of him. After he had already detained people illegally, after he had already had ICE agents busting in doors without warrants, after he had already thrown people in concentration camps or deported people to countries they've never been to, or had his ICE agents murder American citizens in broad daylight. When all of that happened, you still didn't care. You still wanted to go to Florida to get a glimpse. It wasn't until your husband got nabbed. It wasn't until your husband spent 3 months in an ICE detention facility that you finally gave a shit. So why should we give a shit about you, your husband, or your entire fucking family?